The water has never been this low. Cael says the church door is standing open for the first time in my life, and that I should not go. I am going. I am writing this down because the book will not. Because if the church keeps what reads its register, then someone should keep the part of me that walks back out, if I walk back out. Some books keep the days. This one keeps us. Previously, in the Almanac, I paid the ferryman a toll that was not coins, and learned that Cael Drover has never been written on a single page, that he cannot die in the hollow, and that he collects names the way other men collect debts. He told me there was a handwriting in my book that was not my hand, and when I asked him where I might find it, he looked at the water and would not answer, until the tide began, that very night, to go out. It is going out still. I have lived in the hollow long enough to think I know its water. I am wrong. I keep being wrong, and the book keeps being right, and somewhere in the gap between those two facts is the whole of my trouble. But this low, I have never seen. The reservoir that never filled is emptying itself like a held breath, let slowly go. All night, the waterline has been crawling down the church spire, ring by ring, the way a candle shows its hours. By dawn, the bell tower window stands clear of the water for the first time in living memory, a dark socket in the fog, and below it, the slate roofs of the old hollow surface, one by one, streaming, black, patient. They were never gone, they were only under. Cael is already at the landing when I come down. He has not slept. Ferrymen do not, I think, the way the rest of us pretend to. The flatboat sits low and still on water gone glassy as poured pewter. He does not greet me. He says, "You felt it pull." The whole town felt it. "No," he says. "The whole town slept. You felt it pull." He looks at me then, and there is something in his face I have not seen in him. Not warning exactly. The patience of a man who has watched this happen before and is not permitted to stop it. "The causeway's up," he says. "First time in 9 years. You can walk to the church door without me. So I'll ask it plain, archivist. Do you want me to take you, or do you want to be able to say I didn't?" I do not understand the second thing until later. By then, it is far too late to choose it. "Take me," I say. The pole goes down. The boat slides out over the drowned town, and I make myself look down through the water, which on a still morning like this is clear as held glass. There they are. The little stone houses of the old hollow, their doorways dark, their gardens silted to grey velvet. A chair upright on a sunken floor, as if someone rose from it only a moment ago and will be back. And the causeway, the old stone road, surfacing ahead of us in a long pale seam, water sheeting off it in 1,000 small voices, so that for a moment it sounds like the whole valley is whispering my name in a language made entirely of the letter S. "Don't read it," Cael says, without my having said anything. "Read what?" "The water. It'll say things. It's been saving them up." He poles us in toward the causeway's near end, where the stone rises dripping to meet our keel. "I can't go past the door," he says. "I want you to hear that before you go. It isn't that I won't. I have ferried 4 keepers to this step, and I have never once crossed it, and you will want to think that's cowardice. And it would be a great kindness to me if you'd let it be cowardice in your book. But it's not." He steadies the boat. "The church keeps what reads its register, Wren. I don't read. That's the whole of my long life in 5 words. I don't read. You're the keeper. You read everything." He says it gently, which is the worst way he could have said it. That's why it opened for you. I step out onto the causeway. The stone is colder than the water somehow, a deep mineral cold that comes up through my boots and settles in the long bones of my legs. Behind me, I hear Cael push off, and when I turn, he is already a dozen yards out, sitting motionless on the pewter water, watching, the way you watch a candle you have lit for someone and cannot now unlight. The drowned church stands at the causeway's end where it has always stood, leaning, its spire snapped at the top, its great west door, for as long as anyone has known it, sealed under water. It is not sealed now. It hangs open, not flung, not forced, open the width of a body, the way a door is left by someone who has only just gone in and expects, without thinking about it, to come out the same way. Inside, the smell undoes me first. Wet slate, and under it beeswax, old beeswax, the gold gone grey, 100 years of candle ends pressed into the stone. It is the smell of Maris Fenn's hands. It is the smell of my aunt's pages. It is, I realize, standing very still on the threshold with the cold coming up through me, the smell of the book. I have been breathing it every day in the keeper's house and calling it ink. It was never ink, it was this. The book smells of this drowned room because the book comes from this drowned room, and I have been copying its pages in a borrowed hand and never once asked where the first hand wrote them. I go in. The nave is half flooded still, black water lying flat across the lower pews, so that the church has two of everything. 2 altars, 2 broken windows, the lower ones hanging upside down in the still black water, perfect, unrippling. There is light, though there should be none. A thin sodium glow, lantern-coloured, coming from a side chapel where the floor stands dry on a little rise. I go toward it the way you go toward warmth, which is to say without deciding to. And there, on a long stone shelf above the waterline, are the books. Not one almanac, dozens. Older volumes, far older than the one in my keeping. Their boards swollen, their spines split and resewn and split again, their pages fattened with damp into things like loaves. I open the nearest with hands that have stopped pretending to be steady, and the hand inside it is a hand I know. It is mine. My letters, my crossbar on the T that lifts at the end like a held note, my way of dating a page in the upper corner so the ink won't smear when the book is closed. My hand, in a book whose paper is older than my aunt, in a book whose paper is older than the town. I am writing this down because the book will not. I need that on a page somewhere in my own keeping, in case I am about to stop being someone who keeps pages. I, Wren Aldous, opened a volume that predates me by 3 generations and found it written through in my own hand, and the entries were not records of weather, and they were not records of the dead. They were practice, line after line of a single name, copied and copied the way a child copies letters until the hand stops being a child's. And the name was the Hollow's, and the Hollow's name, written out in full, the long way, the way I have never once heard it spoken. The Hollow's name is a list of everyone who has ever lived in it. The valley is not called anything. It is called everyone. I read 4 lines of it before I understood what I was reading and shut the book so hard the slap went round the flooded nave and came back doubled off the water. And in the doubling, I hear that I am not alone. She is below the waterline. Of course she is. I have seen her before. We all have. The low woman, the still patient shape that waits at the drowned door on clear mornings and that the children are told is a trick of the silt. She is not below the door now. She is below the chapel floor, beneath the dry rise I am standing on, looking up at me through 3 feet of black, unmoving water with a calm that is worse than any reaching. Her face, I will not be able to tell you her face. The water takes faces. That is the one mercy in this place. But her hands are clear, pressed flat to the underside of the surface, as if to glass, and between her hands, floating just under the skin of the water, is an open book. She turns a page. She does it slowly, underwater, and the page turns without tearing, without bloating, dry somehow on the wrong side of the water. And I understand that she is showing me. That she has been waiting at this door, not for visitors, but for the one visitor who would come down at the lowest tide and be able to read. She is the previous hand. I know it the way you know a thing in dreams, complete and without evidence. She is the keeper before the keeper before, the one who refused to read her own name aloud, and for refusing was not released, but kept, folded down into the book as its living index, its finger, its place marker, turning pages for 100 years so that the next one would find the right one. The page she has stopped on holds a portrait. It is painted in the old way, foxed and faded, an oval of cream gone tea-colored at the edges, and it is a woman, 3/4 turned, in a keeper's grey. The face is not taken by the water. The face is rendered, fully, the only fully rendered face in this whole drowned valley, and I lean down over the dry rise until my reflection lies on the black water beside the open book. My reflection and the portrait, side by side, an inch apart. They are the same face, not alike, not a family resemblance, not the long Aldous nose my aunt joked I'd grow into. The same face. My face, painted before my aunt was born, captioned in a hand I now know better than my own, in 2 words and a colon, the keeper, and below it, smaller, the way you'd note a thing you didn't want to forget but couldn't bear to write large, came back. I want to ask her, out loud, the cold making my voice unfamiliar in my own mouth. I want to ask her who I am, which is the question I have been not asking since the night I found my name in tomorrow's ink. But she lifts one hand from the underside of the water, not toward me, to her own mouth, her own taken face, and lays one finger across where her lips would be. Quiet. Don't. Not a warning about her, a warning about the room, about reading aloud. The one rule, the only rule, the rule that kept her. And then slowly, that same finger turns in the black water and points, past me, over my shoulder, to the far wall of the chapel, where I had not looked, where there stands on its own small lectern a book I took for one more old volume. It is not old. Its paper is clean. It is the register, the church's own register, the one that takes the name of every soul that crosses the threshold and reads. And it is open, and it is dry, and it is writing. There is no hand. I make myself say that clearly because I was there and I looked. There is no hand, no pen, nothing above the page but cold air and the smell of beeswax. But the ink is moving. A line is laying itself down, letter by letter, in a hand that lifts its crossbars at the end like a held note. And the line is a name, and the name is mine, Wren Aldous. The ink dries even as it sets, and after my name, where every other entry on the page carries a date, every single one, the day each reader came down and read and was kept, after my name there is a blank. The blank is filling in, not with a hand, with the slow certainty of water finding its level. The first numeral has already arrived, dark and patient at the edge of the empty space, and the second is arriving now, surfacing in the cream the way the slate roofs surfaced out of the reservoir at dawn. Already there, only under, only waiting for the tide to fall far enough to show. Behind me, I hear the church door, the great west door that no one forced, begin to swing. And the low woman below the water takes her finger from her lips and smiles, and I do not need to see her face to know that she is glad. Glad the way the bees are glad, the way Liss the bell child is glad an hour before the rest of us understand. Glad that the tide is the lowest it has ever been, and that the date is almost in, and that I read the whole of it aloud without once feeling my own mouth move.